So here we go again, another prelim. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a bit nervous, I guess. We're all a bit that way, but it's yeah, it's nice to be back. It's hard to get back to this spot, so you know, you want to make the most of your opportunities and you know, make sure that we put our best foot forward.
Amazing, you're nervous, and yet it's the sixth in a row. Surely you're an old hat at this now.
Yeah, the 12 months between them, you might let you forget about the last one and get more excited about the next one that comes up. So, yeah, that's footy. That's the cycle of the year.
Does it feel like a tricky one, this one, because Carlton are sort of going into it fearless? You know, they've been the young side, and some of your players we spoke to earlier in the week said they actually saw Carlton as maybe a side that they were a few years ago, so they sort of can see some similarities there?
Yeah, there are some similarities. Yeah, it's fair to feel that way because their form recently has been pretty good. However, across our group, we've got, I don't know, near on 300 games worth of finals experience across our group. So that bit about playing a really fierce, contested, pressured final is the bit that we think is a really strong point of ours. And we'll need to bring all of that to the table because Carlton are in pretty good form. It's great. Our medical and fitness teams have been amazing in recent years just to keep the list in good nick, and by the end of the year we've normally got a full list to choose from, and that's been a consistent thing of ours for, you know, since we've been in the comp really. So it gives you the best chance to roll out your best team at the end of the year when when you're competing for in games like this.
And is there a feeling that the job's not done yet, or do you think a bit further down the track there is something else more we can get out of this team?
It's never done. It's done, you know, when you walk off victorious in the last game of the year. So that's always been there. But I mean, our group we play 12 home and away games, and you know, potentially 3 or 4 finals. I think it takes that long just to get yourself in the groove a little bit, and what your game looks like. But that's what we've got in our footy season at the moment. You know, the more that we can push for a longer season, and you know, I think you'll see better footy if we go through if we start pushing for a longer year.
It's quite a while ago now, obviously the last time you played them here, but have you done much reflection on that encounter?
Yeah, we've done a lot of reflection on that one because that was probably our low point for the year. We let ourselves down in a lot of areas. Our pressure wasn't good enough. We allowed the opposition way too many uncontested ball or uncontested marks. We didn't have our entries deep enough, so there's all sorts of things there that we'll need to improve on, but they're the things that have been front of mind this week. I guess we came off back in it's ages ago now, back in round 2 we came off a huge win in WA, so you know, there are a lot of things there that didn't set us up well to compete on that particular night. So, you know, this is a final. I'd be staggered if our group weren't ready to compete from the get-go tomorrow.
How much does that finals experience count? Because the girls have got a lot of it, haven't they?
They have. I think, you know, I reckon when you face a bit of adversity in finals, I reckon it comes to the fore. 2 weeks ago against Melbourne, we're 13 points down, and one of our key defenders goes off with what looks like a decent knee injury early in the second quarter, but our group had really strong resolve, and you know, within 5 minutes they'd kicked 3 goals and put our noses back in front. So that resolve just to keep going, I reckon, you know, if you've played a lot of finals footy, you'll draw on that, and that's exactly what we saw.
So they're prepared for that physicality, no doubt?
Yeah, the physicality, but also the fact that you might be behind a bit and you might be, you know, losing the arm wrestle for a little while. So just to hang tough and, you know, right the ship and get yourself going again, I think that's a really strong trait of our players, that they can, you know, grit their teeth and get going. So that's something that we'll definitely need tomorrow.
Is there a particular theme or anthem or anything which is the girls draw upon in those moments when they do face adversity?
I think I mean, we talk about that experience. Like we've got 3 players tomorrow playing their 18th final, so that's pretty amazing over, you know, the duration of this competition. But there's a whole bunch of them that have played 15 plus finals as well. So yeah, you'd have to ask them out in the field, would they look at each other and, you know, steal the eyes and have a nod and say, right, next contest we're going super hard. But those sort of things, I reckon, are great competitive traits of our players, that they keep going.
Isn't it amazing though that you're going to have this prelim final here after the this amazing season.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're expecting a really big crowd tomorrow. I mean, we had one played here a month ago, and Diwali Festival was going, and we had a huge turnout that night. And that was against a finals contender as well in Melbourne. So I'm hoping that the memory of that and the way we played that night, which was high intensity, high pressure, that we can grab some of that and bring it to tomorrow night.
What about you yourself, Coach? I mean, you're coming into what, if you win this week, it'll be 7 grand finals in 9 years. I mean, how do you yourself continue to get the hunger every season?
I don't think you ever lose the appetite for wanting to win. I mean, if you're in sport, you're competitive by nature, and we're all like that, the girls particularly. Yeah, I mean, there's new players, there's new circumstances, there's challenges from underneath. There's all sorts of things that get you motivated about performing well. The footy club on the whole is in a really sweet spot at the moment also, so there's a lot of that mentality around the whole building. So that's something that that you can't help but sort of feed off. But we've had moments where we've been strong and the boys have lost the odd final, and at the moment it's the other way around, that we're the ones trying to keep up with them a little bit at the moment. So it's a great environment to be in.
Well, so what's the secret ingredient? I mean, how has Brisbane been as good as they've been consistently over the life of the AFLW?
I think we've got a really competitive bunch of players. I mean, you play them at table tennis or cards or trivia or whatever, they want to win. So it's they're competitive people by nature. They're hard trainers. They're all around the same age. They've come through together and played junior footy. There are a lot of reasons why, but the main one I would say is that they're just wired competitively.
And it probably hasn't been mentioned, although maybe just between the media, but there is the chance of the rare four-peat if you get through to the grand final: AFL, NRLW, NRL Men's, AFLW. That'd be pretty incredible for the city of Brisbane.
Yeah, it'd be great. We're still a week away from even that coming into the conversation, but yeah, it's great. I mean, it's unique and unusual, and it'll be terrific.
Hey, what's Jen Dunn had to do the last week or two? Obviously, that was a pretty big scare.
Yeah, I mean, the way she fell in that game was a bit of a scare, but she actually got it back and played, if you remember, against Melbourne, and finished the game, and then she was running flat out and ready to do most of the training last Friday. So that's a week ago now, and she's trained fully this week. So yeah, it's just business as usual now.
Obviously, I can't call her an inclusion because she did play last week, but great to have her as part of your back line. They've got a lot of dangerous forwards, Carlton.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they've got some variety in their forward line as well. A bit similar to us. We'll have our hands full down the other end of the ground as well. But that's to have everyone up and going and get the right matchups is going to be really important for us.
Any late changes, inclusions?
No, not at this point, thankfully. Jennifer was really the only one that might have been in doubt straight off the Melbourne game, but that's 2 weeks ago now. She's trained fully, so that's fine.
And we mentioned it to the players, but I mean, you've been on this incredible winning streak. Then you have a week off, the break.
Yeah.
Obviously, you draw on that finals experience, but as it has to be from you to the players to remind them that, even having a week off, Carlton are coming in fresh, they're feeling the hunger. It hasn't been hard to remind them how important this week is?
No, not at all. I mean, we played round 12 in Melbourne. We played the first final in Melbourne. So back-to-back travels with, decent games of footy. That was the challenge to get through those 2 weeks. And then to have the week off just to sort of refresh a bit. But what we've noticed this week is that, they've steeled their minds again to really get into competitive mode. So we were... we made sure that we're all over that, just from a coaching perspective, just to keep an eye on what their mood was like on Wednesday, and it was terrific at training. We thought they jumped into it and trained with real intensity, so that was really pleasing as well.
Cool. Sweet.
Okay,
Thanks,
good on you guys.
Good luck.
No worries.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you. Cheers.